King Frederik and Queen Mary, the couple at the heart of Denmark's monarchy. They are admired, celebrated, and deeply respected by many. Yet behind the glittering facade of royalty lies a story of struggle. A story that centers on their relationship with Prince Joachim, the younger brother of King Frederik, a man who has chosen a very different path, a man whose lavish life has become both admired and criticized. Prince Joachim has long lived in the shadow of his older brother. While Frederik carried the weight of the crown, Joachim was free to explore a world of his own choosing. For years, he enjoyed the luxury of privilege without the full responsibility of duty. And that freedom, while enviable to some, has created friction within the royal household. The Danish people have often looked at Joachim with curiosity. His choices are bold, his lifestyle is extravagant, he has lived in Paris. He has embraced high society. He has mingled with power and wealth beyond Denmark's borders. While many admired his independence, others questioned whether his life was out of touch with the reality of royal duty. For Queen Mary, this difference has not gone unnoticed. She has worked tirelessly to embody the role of a modern queen. Balancing tradition with compassion, she is seen at charities, at hospitals, with children, with the vulnerable. Her presence feels grounded, she is accessible, she is beloved, but when the focus shifts to Joachim, the contrast is sharp. Where Mary appears selfless, Joachim often appears indulgent. Where Frederik embraces duty, Joachim seems to embrace luxury. This clash of image creates whispers. It fuels speculation. Is the monarchy united, or is there quiet division within the royal family? The Danish public, known for its deep trust in its monarchy, watches closely. And every move by Joachim seems to invite scrutiny. His move to France years ago widened the gap. For many, it was a bold statement. He seemed to be stepping away from Denmark itself. His royal role diminished. His appearances at official events became rare. The Danish people saw less of him. Yet at the same time, his name filled headlines. His Parisian lifestyle, his elegant appearances with Princess Marie, his access to an international world of glamour. For King Frederik, who carries the legacy of Denmark's monarchy on his shoulders, the difference in roles became glaring. He was the king, the symbol of stability, the monarch expected to stand firm, especially after Queen Margrethe's abdication. While he represented tradition and continuity, Joachim represented change and distance. Behind palace walls, tension grew. Family dinners reportedly became strained. Conversations turned delicate. Mary and Frederik tried to keep the royal image strong. But Joachim's choices made unity difficult. It was not just about lifestyle. It was about the image of the Danish crown. The people expect the monarchy to remain close. They want a family united under tradition. They want the symbolism of togetherness. But Joachim's life, in many ways, appears separated from the crown. The financial strain added another layer. Royal funding has always been a sensitive subject. The Danish taxpayers contribute to the upkeep of the monarchy. And while most accept this as part of tradition, excesses can ignite criticism. Joachim's lifestyle has often been painted as costly. His apartments, his properties, his presence abroad, each detail feeds into the debate. Should a royal who has stepped away from core duties still enjoy the privileges of funding? Should indulgence be paid for by the public? These questions sparked controversy. Mary, ever conscious of public opinion, understands the weight of perception. Her role has been to connect with ordinary Danes, to stand in hospitals, schools, and charities, showing empathy and humility. For her, Joachim's lavish life risks undermining the very trust she has built. It becomes more than a family issue. It becomes a matter of public loyalty to the crown. For Frederik, the challenge is even greater. Joachim is not just a brother. He is family. The bond of blood runs deep. But so does duty. As king, Frederik cannot simply overlook the controversies. He must balance the affection of a sibling with the responsibility of a monarch. A monarch must lead. A monarch must protect the image of the crown. And if his brother's choices threaten that image, the king must act. But action is never easy. Conversations between brothers carry emotion, resentment, frustration, regret. Reports have suggested moments of heated discussion. Words exchanged that cannot easily be forgotten. Attempts at reconciliation that failed. At times, it has seemed as though the distance between Frederik and Joachim was unbridgeable. Yet Queen Mary has often stood as a mediator. She values family. She values unity. She has encouraged dialogue. She has sought to soften the edges. But the weight of Joachim's choices continues to hang heavy. For Mary, it is a battle between compassion and protection. She wants peace within the family. But she also knows her role is to safeguard the dignity of the crown. Joachim, for his part, has defended his lifestyle. He argues that he has the right to build his own path. He insists he is not bound to live in Frederik's shadow. He claims independence is his choice, not rebellion. And to some extent, many agree. Why should he not enjoy life? Why should he not use the privileges he was born with? For his supporters, Joachim is a symbol of freedom within the monarchy. He represents individuality in a world of duty. But others remain unconvinced. To them, Joachim's independence looks like distance. His luxury looks like detachment. His lifestyle looks like indulgence. And when compared with Mary and Frederik's dedication, the contrast is uncomfortable. The monarchy itself has faced challenges before. Queen Margrethe, with her wisdom and resilience, kept the family strong for decades. She mediated conflicts. She balanced roles. She maintained harmony. But with her stepping back, the responsibility now falls on Frederik and Mary. They must carry the legacy forward. They must ensure that division does not erode unity. The people look at Frederik and Mary with hope. They see a king and queen determined to modernize yet preserve tradition. They see a couple who symbolize duty and compassion. But they also see the shadow of Joachim's choices looming behind. This struggle is not just about brothers. It is about image. It is about the crown. It is about how Denmark's royal family will be remembered in the years to come. Will history say they stood united? Or will history remember the cracks within? The story of Frederik, Mary, and Joachim continues to unfold. Each public appearance adds a new chapter. Each decision Joachim makes sparks new debate. Each act of duty from Mary and Frederik strengthens their role but also highlights the differences within the family. The Danish monarchy, admired worldwide for its stability, now finds itself under scrutiny. And much of that scrutiny comes from within its own walls. The story does not simply end with speculation. It goes deeper, into the very foundations of what it means to be royal in the modern world. For Frederik and Mary, the crown is more than an heirloom. It is a duty they must perform daily under the gaze of millions. Every handshake, every public speech, every smile, is a performance of service. Their lives are not their own. They belong, in part, to the people of Denmark. Yet Joachim's life, by contrast, often appears to be his own, designed around his personal desires rather than the collective needs of the monarchy. This difference is not a small matter. It is a chasm. The Danish royal family has long enjoyed an unusually high level of trust among citizens. They are seen as modern, relatable, and approachable, especially compared to other European monarchies that sometimes appear distant. Queen Margrethe cultivated this carefully. Her warmth, her intellect, and her loyalty to her people helped preserve that bond. But her sons carry different personalities, different ambitions, and different approaches. Frederik is steady, cautious, and deeply conscious of his role. Joachim is dynamic, at times restless, often appearing to crave freedom from tradition. For Queen Mary, this is not just a matter of public opinion. It touches her directly as a woman who has sacrificed her independence for royal duty. Coming from Australia, she once lived a life of normality. She walked through city streets unnoticed. She worked a regular job. She had freedom to make choices for herself. But marrying Frederik changed everything. She stepped into a role that demanded discipline, restraint, and compromise. She knew her freedom would be limited, yet she embraced it for love and for duty. This sacrifice gives her perspective when she watches Joachim. She cannot help but notice the irony. The brother who was born into royalty fights for independence, while the woman who was born free gave hers away willingly to serve the monarchy. This tension grows sharper when examined through the lens of finances. Danish citizens take pride in their transparency and social equality. Denmark is a country where leaders are expected to be accountable. Every kroner spent by the monarchy is scrutinized. When Frederik and Mary dedicate their resources to public service, most Danes feel the expense is justified. They see the return in visibility, in connection, in the dignity the monarchy brings. But when reports of Joachim's lavish lifestyle surface, his expensive residences, his international travels, his elegant tastes, it stirs frustration. Critics argue that indulgence without duty creates resentment. Supporters of the monarchy worry it erodes the foundation of trust that has kept Denmark's royal family popular. Within the palace, these concerns cannot be ignored. Frederik and Mary must constantly consider the balance of image. They must uphold not just their own reputation, but the reputation of the crown itself. Every time Joachim attracts headlines for extravagance, it complicates their work. It distracts from their dedication. It risks painting the entire monarchy as detached from ordinary life. The problem extends beyond Denmark's borders too. European monarchies often watch one another closely. They are compared in the press. They are held against one another's standards. When Prince Harry and Prince William's relationship broke down in Britain, it became a global story. When Prince Albert of Monaco faced family scandals, it echoed across Europe. Denmark is not immune to this same scrutiny. Joachim's choices, whether intended or not, risk aligning the Danish monarchy with stories of division, privilege, and excess that can tarnish its image worldwide. For King Frederik, the timing could not be more sensitive. He has only just stepped into the role of monarch. His reign is new. His legacy is being written day by day. He must prove to his people that he is steady, capable, and worthy of the crown his mother carried so gracefully. But to do so, he must present not just his own strength but the unity of his family. A monarch divided from his brother, a family fractured under pressure, creates uncertainty. And uncertainty is dangerous for a monarchy that thrives on stability. Frederik and Joachim's relationship has not always been strained. In their youth, they shared bonds of brotherhood. They were seen together at family events, united under their mother's guiding hand. But as adulthood came, their paths diverged. Frederik was groomed for kingship. Joachim was left freer to find his own way. That freedom, however, created distance. Where Frederik grew into duty, Joachim grew into independence. Where Frederik learned to suppress personal desires for the sake of monarchy, Joachim explored desires openly, whether in lifestyle, love, or location. The marriages of both brothers also highlight their differences. Frederik's marriage to Mary was a unifying symbol. It brought international admiration. It showed a fairy tale romance, an ordinary woman becoming queen through love and devotion. Joachim's marriages, however, carried more complexity. His first marriage to Alexandra Manley ended in divorce, the first in modern royal Danish history, sparking debates about royal responsibility. His second marriage to Princess Marie, though happy, pulled him even further into an international identity, especially with their residence in Paris. The contrast only deepened. The children of both brothers symbolize the future of the monarchy. Crown Prince Christian, Isabella, Vincent, and Josephine are being raised as Denmark's next generation of royals. Their presence keeps the monarchy alive in the public imagination. They attend events, they smile for photographs, they represent the future. Joachim's children, while loved, live further from that spotlight. Nikolai and Felix, his older sons, have forged careers outside royal duty, entering modeling and pursuing independence. They embody Joachim's philosophy of individuality over tradition. This too adds to the question: what is the true role of a royal in the modern world? Queen Mary and King Frederik have little choice but to confront this divide. Their role demands unity. Their survival as monarchs depends on perception. Mary, especially, is acutely aware of how fragile public support can be. She has studied the fall of other royal families. She knows that scandals, divisions, and extravagance can topple even centuries-old monarchies. For her, Joachim's lifestyle is not simply a family matter, it is a potential threat to the monarchy's long-term stability. The emotional cost of this struggle cannot be overlooked. Behind the crowns and ceremonies are human beings. Siblings who once laughed together now struggle to share trust. A queen who longs for family harmony now worries about public image. A king who loves his brother now questions his choices. It is an emotional storm hidden beneath royal smiles. And yet, the future remains unwritten. Joachim may choose to redefine his role. He may one day return to Denmark with renewed purpose. Frederik may find a way to balance affection with duty. Mary may succeed in building bridges between her husband and his brother. The monarchy may emerge stronger, its resilience tested but intact. For now, though, the Danish people watch carefully. They watch their king and queen take on immense responsibility. They watch Prince Joachim enjoy a life that seems distant. They watch and wonder whether the royal family can find a way back to harmony. The story of Frederik, Mary, and Joachim is far from over. It is a story of family and duty, of loyalty and independence, of tradition and change, and it is a story that will shape the legacy of Denmark's monarchy for generations to come. Viewers, what do you think? Can King Frederik and Queen Mary repair their strained relationship with Prince Joachim while safeguarding the monarchy? Or is the divide now too great to heal? Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment for more royal updates.